One of the most complex and often frustrating aspects of acting, particularly at a high level of recognition, is the phenomenon of invisible effort, where the amount of work invested in a role does not directly translate into audience perception, resulting in performances that may be carefully constructed and technically demanding, but are received as effortless or even unremarkable because the labor behind them is not visible within the final product, and this issue becomes particularly relevant in the context of Lee Min-ho's recent work. Actors who undergo visible transformations, such as significant changes in physical appearance, accent, or behavior, often receive immediate recognition for their effort, as these changes provide clear indicators of the work involved, whereas performances that rely on internal adjustments, subtle shifts in timing, and controlled emotional delivery may require a more attentive viewing process to fully appreciate, and in a fast-paced viewing environment, these nuances can be easily overlooked, leading to the perception that the performance lacks depth even when it is technically complex. For Lee Min-ho, whose acting style emphasizes control and refinement, much of the effort is concentrated in areas that are less immediately visible, including the calibration of emotional intensity, the management of pacing within dialogue, and the maintenance of consistency across scenes, all of which contribute to a coherent performance but do not necessarily stand out as distinct moments of transformation, thereby reducing the likelihood that the audience will recognize the work involved without deliberate attention. This creates a gap between effort and perception, where the actor may be operating at a high level of technical proficiency, but the audience experiences the performance as familiar or unchanged, particularly if the differences between roles are expressed through subtle variation rather than overt contrast, and this gap is further amplified by the audience memory effect, which reinforces existing perceptions and makes it more difficult for new elements to register. Addressing the invisible effort problem requires a combination of strategic and artistic adjustments, including selecting roles that provide opportunities for visible transformation, as well as incorporating moments within performances that highlight key changes in behavior or emotion in ways that are immediately recognizable, thereby bridging the gap between internal work and external perception. For Lee Min-ho, this may involve balancing his natural inclination toward controlled performance with elements that are more visibly distinct, creating a layered approach where subtlety is complemented by moments of clarity that signal transformation to the audience, ensuring that the effort invested in the role is not only present, but also perceptible. Ultimately, the invisible effort problem underscores the importance of aligning performance technique with audience perception, recognizing that the value of a performance is not only determined by the work that goes into it, but by how effectively that work is communicated, and for an actor at Lee Min-ho's level, achieving this alignment may be key to redefining how his recent performances are understood and appreciated.